Good morning children. So today's topic is multiplication table of 5. We are going to study the multiplication table of 5. Children, look at the board. You can see the picture of fingers, is it? Look at the first box. Here you can see one group of 5 fingers, is it? So we can write it as 1 times 5 is 5. Now, look into the next box. In the second box, you can see 2 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 2 times 5 is 10. And in the third box, you can see 3 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 3 times 5 is 15. Now, in the fourth box, you can see 4 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 4 times 5 is 20. Now, in the fifth box, you can see 5 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 5 times 5 is 25. Now, in the sixth box, we can see 6 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 6 times 5 is 30. In the seventh box, we can see 7 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 7 times 5 is 35. Now, in the eighth box, you can see 8 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 8 times 5 is 40. In the ninth box, you can see 9 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 9 times 5 is 45. Now, in the last box, the 10th box, we can see 10 groups of 5 fingers each. So, we can write it as 10 times 5 is 50. Is it clear? Now, children, we can read the multiplication table of 5. Let's read. 1 times 5 is equal to 5. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 5 times 5 is equal to 25. 6 times 5 is equal to 30. 7 times 5 is equal to 35. 8 times 5 is equal to 40. 9 times 5 is equal to 45. 10 times 5 is equal to 50. So, this is the multiplication table of 5. Okay children, so you have to read and practice first, read and study properly, then only write in your worksheet. And children, now we already finished studying the tables of 1, 2 and today we study the table of 5. So, we complete 3 multiplication tables. So, children, you do one thing, take a piece of paper or piece of chart paper and write these tables neatly. Table of multiplication table of 1, multiplication table of 2 and today's table, multiplication table of 5. Okay, so write neatly in a piece of chart paper and keep it in your study room. Okay children, and revise these tables every day. Read it loudly, revise every day, because without knowing the tables we can't do the questions using the table. Okay, so you must thorough with the tables. So every day you have to read and practice and write and study in your rough book also, and you have to write in your worksheet also. Okay children, so using the multiplication table of 5, we will do some questions now. Look into the board. Read the question children. Find the product. We want to find the product. The question is given using the table of 5. 6 times 5. What is 6 times 5 children? How we will find out the answer? For 2's table also, which way we are finding the answers? We will start counting from the beginning of the table. So 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 10, 3 times 5 15, 4 times 5 20, 5 times 5 25, 6 times 5 is 30. So write the answer 30. Now what is the next one? 3 times 5. 3 times 5 15. So without knowing the tables, you can't write these questions. So practice it well. 8 times 5. What is the answer? 8 times 5? 8 times 5 are 40. 10 times 5. 10 times 5 are 50. Now we will do some vertical questions. Okay. 2 times 5. What is the answer? 2 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So 10. Write 10 here. Now 5 into 0. What is the answer, children? When we multiply any number by 0, what will be the answer? Answer is always 0. So 5 into 0. Answer is 0. Now 4 times 5. Check the table. Start counting from the beginning. 4 times 5 are 20. Now the last question. 9 times 5. What is the answer? 9 times 5 is 45. Okay children, is it clear? So after studying the table, only write your worksheet. Read and practice first, write and practice in your rough book, then only write your worksheet. After studying the table, only you have to write the worksheet. Okay, then only you can write these answers like this. Okay children, so practice well. Every day you have to read, revise all the tables. You already finished studying the tables of 1 to 5. Okay, so that's all for today's class children. See you in the next class.